Guys, Taka here, and welcome back. So today again, I thought it would be a pretty simple video. I was gonna do some card opening packs again from Shadowverse. I haven't played too much recently, though I did get back into it for the Christmas tournament a little bit. I missed the first round of the tournament. I just had a lot going on, was working, and then I was going on my vacation. And so I didn't really have too much time for that. But then I was actually on my vacation during the second part, and I figured I might as well at least try for the round two. I did it on the last day, got into the finals. And in the finals, I did something really stupid. And I was about to win all three of the matches, because you go in B group, there's 3 matches, about to win all 3. Made a really stupid mistake and lost the final round. But, I mean, 2 out of 3 for being out of practice isn't too bad. So let's go ahead and see. Well, it did help that it wasn't like really a meta-defining tournament, because it was a pick 2, not a create your own deck. So that helped a little bit, as again, I'm not too caught up with the meta. So what I'm going to do is I have 10 of each of the recent packs. I think even, let me see here. Yeah, some Omen of 10 as well. So we'll start with Omen of 10, and we'll slowly go up until we're at the newest card pack here, Ultimate Coliseum. And also I have 1,000 rupees, so I think I'll go ahead and use those as well to go ahead and get 10 extra packs of the newest one, just to go ahead and see what we can get from there. And it'll be in the rotation for longer than the other ones. So that's where I'll spend my rupees in this case. So let's go ahead and see. I don't really know anything about the meta right now, so I may stop to look at some of the newer cards that I haven't received yet, which would be mostly from this pack, and maybe a little bit of Rebirth of Glory, because Rebirth of Glory is kind of where I stopped playing. I was playing a little bit in there, but not fully, and definitely not after the second release. Steel Rebellion was more so where I played for a good while. So let's go ahead, Omen of 10, and see what we get here. Of course, with these packs, we're probably going to get at least some legendaries. It would be great if we got leaders, but we'll just see exactly where we go. And I might even start just doing the daily missions on here as well, like maybe on the weekends or something like that. Of course, on weekdays I'm a little bit busy with work and everything like that, so that may not be possible. Though I do have Wednesday off, so perhaps I could make like a New Year's Day video, or maybe even a New Year's Eve video or something like that, like the last video of the year or something kind of thing. I was kind of hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers, but I think just my slowdown in video production, things that kind of halted that. But still, I mean, we've gotten to, I think, 978, so that's not too bad. I will probably reach 1,000 soon enough. A few of the projects I've been at kind of slowed down, so I haven't been voice acting too much recently. However, I'm thinking about getting back into that too when I have the time. Again, it's just work is really keeping me busy, and I've kind of gotten back into Fate Grand Order recently as well. So with Fate Grand Order, it's that one's kind of time consuming when I do have free time. I need to figure out how to record that one, because I can't record my BlueStacks right now. So if anyone actually knows how to do that, because I can do it with OBS, that would be really great knowledge to have. And maybe I could do some of my gacha pulls, especially if they do like a Merlin event, or when Scotty comes around, I would like to do his as well. But as for now, I mean, Shadowverse is a good one to do because it's nice and easy to record this, and I might do some playing of it as well, but again, I'm out of practice, so it'd probably be pretty bad. And these cards that I'm opening right now are not in rotation. These ones are all out of rotation. Looks like we didn't get any legendaries from this pack, but again, that's okay. These ones aren't in rotation anymore. They're still good, like for when I play Unlimited, because there are unlimited tournaments and things like that as well. But rotation is where most things are, so it's really good to have these ones, because you can use them both Unlimited and rotation. So it's kind of like a little more beneficial in my mind. So let's go ahead and see what we can get from this one. Now this one is the last one in rotation for now, but the new pack just came out, so it'll probably be in rotation for a while. Oh, there we go, another Nicola. I think I already have 3 Nicolas though, so he's not really an addition here. I think probably most of the general ones in this pack. Steel-clad Minotaur. I don't really. Yeah, he's a neutral card. I remember his effect now. Yeah, I don't use cards like that too often. I think they're more for stall decks. But most of the decks I had that went to like later game or had like some end condition, most of the cards for that condition were in the deck anyway, so it was like there wasn't much reason to use outside cards such as Mysteria. Unfortunately, I think Mysteria's kind of fallen off, but who knows, maybe this next pack, again, I told you I don't know much about it. It might have something to bring it back, which would be great. So this is a Portalcraft card. I think I have one of him. Rush and then Fanfare, deal 1 damage to all enemies. If the total cost of allied artifact cards destroyed during this match is at least 20, deal 5 damage instead. So that's the total cost of all allied artifacts. So that means you don't need 20 artifacts destroyed, but their total cost needs to be at least that much. And of course, destroyed, I believe, means they had to have been on the field. It can't just mean like discarded or anything like that. Slash of 1, gold hollow, not bad, not bad. This card is still fairly useful. I mean, of course, you gotta, this cost right here is the best part, but again, this isn't a banishing, so it kind of, I feel like it got a little overtaken by, I forget what it is, but that 4-cost card that both players draw a card and then it banishes like pretty much anything. So it can be used on amulets, I forget what they're called again now. Whatever these things are called, monsters, servants, something, whatever they're called, those ones as well. Oh wow, another legendary from this pack. There we go. So Aether Wings, she's a Swordcraft card, and then randomly for one of the highest cost Swordcraft followers that costs X play points. I don't know how well Swordcraft is right now. I think the meta's changed quite a bit since they added the new form. I forget what it's called again, but essentially like Arthur, and then they changed their new versions have a different class now. So it's quite changed since I played before, but looks like quite a few hollows in this pack. Predatory Might, and a Rose is a good one, not hollow, but always a good card to have for Dragoncraft. I haven't had a Dragoncraft deck that I use that much since, oh, there you go, speaking of Dragoncraft decks, not a Dragoncraft card, but that's my second Prince Cocytus hollow. Prince Cocytus, he was a pretty big part in the Dragoncraft decks when they were on, because his effect comes into play when you can play him directly and replace your deck with a Cocytus deck. So a lot of people would use Dragoncraft ramp and then just get him out as soon as they could. Wow, 2 Saloms in one deck and one of them's a hollow. Well, there you go. I don't know if she's too important to Dragoncraft. I don't know. I mean, Bloodcraft, I don't know where the meta is right now. But again, like, she was, I think, pretty good in like the ones where you actually dealt more damage to yourself, and it definitely changed after they nerfed Seductress Vampire. So, or not Seductress Vampire. What was her name? I forget what she was called. Anyhow, the one girl who like automatically gave you vengeance without damaging you. Now she just damages you, and it's like she's pretty much a worse version of the other card in the deck, the gold one, that reduces you to 10, but then makes it so you can't take more than 3 damage at a time. Again, out of the loop on the game a bit because I can't remember the names of all the cards. So, but oh, there you go, Purging Light, a good one to have for Havencraft. Now with this one, you kind of got to be careful when you use it. You got to make sure that they're on these numbers. So if you're careful with that, you can pretty much get them all. And I think it's a random enemy follower, so it can be one of each of these. So it's like if there's more than one, I don't think it works like that. But I think so long as it's each one has one like this, you could technically banish up to 5 cards. So it's pretty useful. So until we get to the most recent one, I probably won't comment too much on non-hollow silver and bronze cards. This one, though, I will comment on like ones like this, because like this is part of my Mysteria cards I was talking about. This one was kind of interesting because it has a high cost, so that kind of puts it on the lower end, but gives you a low cost card. The reason why I say cost for this is because Mysteria, it's all about playing more cards to reduce the cost of other cards in your hand and getting the cards you need into your hand. So if you play too many high cost cards, you're not getting the reduction of cost on the cards you really need. But again, I don't know if you can really play them in rotation anymore because of the main cards of the deck going out of rotation. So this card, I never really used her much. I think I had her before, but I never really used her too much. When I played Portalcraft, I played it for Lucia and what's-her-face, the gold card, that she gains attack equal to all the cards destroyed from your team. But this guy definitely used him, because he added points to both cards. Because you would get all the puppets out, and then you could throw them out. Now the problem was if you put him out before you got the cards in your hand, sometimes you would be unable to find the card and ended up losing because of that. Because with that kind of deck, you're not going to deal too much damage directly most of the time until you get the cards you really need out there. I mean, I'm sure there are people who can, but you gotta arrange the deck in a certain way to make it that way. So let's see here. There's Magitech Golem. Again, never really used much of that card. Now, him. Father of Refinement. I did use him when I was doing the Elena decks. Elena decks. Those were pretty fun. That was at the end of the time I played, was the Elena decks. So I kind of need to get back into things, learn where the meta is, and get back into it. I could probably, if I were to start playing more during my free time, I could probably get to the final rank. Not the very final rank, like the one you have to get every month, but the general final rank, yeah, probably at least within the next month or two. But again, I don't know if I have really the time to do it too much. But I should probably at least try to do my dailies and maybe just do videos of that. That way I can just have small daily uploads up for you guys or something like that. Maybe we just have a talk or something of that sort. Really, I'm just kind of looking for ideas as well. So if you guys have any suggestions, of course, I'd always appreciate those. We can see what we can do. Make new ones. Oh, this guy is a fun gag deck to make. You know, gain ambush until the end of your opponent's turn, and then at the end of your turn, gain ambush. The old version of him would just do this automatically, but for this version, you have to evolve him, and he doesn't gain any attack or defense from evolution. But what you can do is you can just enhance him a lot and give him like a lot of different attack buffs and maybe attack twice and things like that. And so long as they don't have something that can destroy cards that can't be targeted, you're good. But unfortunately, that's a lot of cards today. Oh wow, and Erd again. I remember this pack now. This one, like, Erd always comes out. Like, you get so many Erds. Like, people were burning Erds because they had too many. Way too many. And there's now Entrancing Blow. I mean, it's a nice card with this design too. But when you have there's a rim design that they released as well that was automatically hollow. So I think a lot of people were using that version instead. Same went for me for a while. And this card, this was essential for Elena decks. Probably still is if Elena decks are still in. Again, I don't know. I might use it just because I don't have a meta deck yet. But I can probably just look into it. This is the card I was talking about. Yes, it was Seductress Vampire. This card, it's useless now. During your turn, when this card is added to your hand from the deck, if Vengeance is not active for you, reveal it and banish it. Change your maximum defense to 10. So all you're doing is you're destroying your own health bar. You're losing a card from your hand, and you really gain no benefit. The only benefit is going into Vengeance. But again, there are so many other cards you can use to do that, that there's no reason to her current existence. Her old version was go into Vengeance without changing your health, which was beautiful and great, but her current version's trash in my opinion. I'm a little disappointed that that's the legendary I got from this pack. She should be more of a silver servant, I think, after the debuff. She's definitely not worthy of being a legendary. Because, I mean, if you look at her base stats, they don't... I mean, it doesn't do much at all. I mean, she deals 4 damage and heals you for 4. The other one, the gold one, which... I can't remember her name now. I think it's Destructive Succubus. That's it. Destructive Succubus. She's, like, way better now. She's much better than her. I mean, she was a game winner before, but now she's, like... just superior to this card in every way. So now we're on the second to newest pack already, so we'll see what we can get here. Nothing too outstanding yet. Of course, I had most of the cards I wanted because I would just buy them if I needed them. The previous ones. Okay, so we already have a new card here that I haven't had before. Let's see what it is. So it's a new Dragoncraft card. Deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. Okay, so this is one of those Great Tree cards. The one that Natarin. Natarin. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Natarin. I'm gonna go with that one. Why not? So Fanfare, discard all Natura cards in your hand and deal X damage to all enemies. X equals the number of Natura cards discarded. That seems like a bit of a gamble. And let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's really all that great. I mean, it's a 9-star card with 6 attack and 6 defense, and it's... Oh, never mind. It's all... I was thinking all enemy followers. It's all enemies. So if you have, like, 9 cards in your hands, 9 Natura cards in your... Well, you couldn't do that because you would have to have him in your hand. 8 in your hand. You could deal 8 damage directly to your opponent and wipe out their field all at once. So not too bad. But granted, you lose your hand at the same time. And Dragoncraft, that can be kind of dangerous. But also with Dragoncraft, you can get this guy out pretty early because of ramp. So, not too bad. Not too bad. Again, this deck I don't know too much about. Yeah, I kind of assume she would be Havencraft. She looks kind of like she could be like a yandere or something. No, never mind. Those are just her first picture, those eyes. But then she kind of changes after that. Oh, let's see. Huh. Oh, Purging Evil. There you go. Randomly put 2 different Levin cards, including Levin. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Levin, that's the new one. Well, not new anymore, I'm sure, but it's newer and new. How? I got 3 of this card in one pack. Restore 2 defense to your leader and put a Nattering Great Tree into your hand and change its cost to 0. So I guess this is actually a pretty decent card for Natera decks, but I'm pretty sure I already have 3 of them. But now I have a holo, I guess. And again, holos are sometimes like better than getting a high rarity card, because high rarity cards, you can buy them straight out, where with holos, you need this special item to make them. So it's kind of like, when I get a gold or a legendary, it's cool and all, especially if it's a leader card. Well, if it's a leader card, definitely, that's the best one you can get. But when it comes to those, it's really, I feel like holos are better in a way if you're going to use the card. So this one lets you draw, and I don't know where Bloodcraft is right now, but I know drawing in any deck is always useful unless it's like one of those decks that overdraws, which there are decks like that. Bloodcraft actually was like that for me for one of them. Because this one has Storm. I do like Storm, but 1 attacks. Let's see if her effect changes that. There we go. At the start of your turn, if X is at least 7, invoke this card. When this follower comes into play, gain plus X plus 0. X equals the number of allied Nateran Great Trees you've played this match. Okay, so this is a Runecraft Natera card, obviously. So I guess what you're supposed to do is get as many of those cards out there as possible, and then she invokes, which I believe means she can go straight from the deck. Yeah, so straight from the deck. So you don't want to draw her. If you do draw her, if you can reshuffle her into your deck, you would like to do that. Because again, that's going to be much better for you than just playing her. Now, you could just play her as well. That could work for you, but again, she kind of loses the benefit in that way, sense of getting to play her for free, whereas if you play her out of your hand, it's 9 cards. But anyway, if you played a lot of Natura trees, she could do a lot of damage, and I don't know how easy it is to get those cards out there, but I've seen, as we saw in that last deck, that's already 3 cards that can get you a Natera tree. So this card can't be attacked, and then whenever Resonance becomes active for you, deal 1 damage to all enemies. So that card is pretty much a turret, so long as they don't kill it with a spell, or an amulet or something like that, or an effect. So can't be attacked isn't really like, especially against Runecraft, it's kind of useless. But against a lot of decks, it's actually fairly decent because, at least early game, it can take them a bit to actually destroy something like that. Banish an enemy follower amulet. So this is actually a pretty good card because, see, if you use it at its base level, it's only 2 play points, so it's not going to cost you anything. It's a nice card to just throw out there. And then, also, if you evolve it, you can destroy an enemy follower with 3 defense or less, but it also still gets the full attack and defense up ability. And then, of course, this enhance ability. So what you could technically do is you could wipe out a field with him if there's only like 1 really good card and 1 like kind of lacking card. You could technically wipe out the enemy field with just him. Again, not a super great card, but a pretty good one. But again, I don't really know where Swordcraft is these days, so I don't know if he's as good as too good. Now his original form was really awesome because you could get a banishing card or a destruction card, one with 1 point, one with I think it was 5 points. I don't remember, but anyhow, it was pretty awesome. Oh, there's the hedgehog is back. Let's see what it does now. That's not the hedgehog we know and love. That's a completely different effect. And it's a Portalcraft too. If Resonance is active for you, gain Rush. Interesting. Tempered Aether. Man, see, there's a lot of these Nateran Great Tree cards, I guess. So I guess that's what they were trying to go for with all decks with this pack. Like, all of them are going to be based around that for this one. But again, there's a new pack out, so I don't know how that's going to change the meta. We'll just have to see. Wait and find out. Won't have to wait too long, though. Again, to see another Natera Great Tree. Nateran Great Tree. That's a lot of those. Oh, looks like we got another idol girl or something going on here. Let's see what she does. So she's another Portal Craft card, and she removes all effects on all other followers except changes to their attack and defense. Banish an enemy amulet. That's a 2-point card. With this effect, that's pretty good. And then she can banish an amulet if you evolve her. If you're running Portal Craft, put this card in your deck. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know where the meta is, but no matter what the meta is, I can't see this not being good. Really good. Especially for a 2-point card, that's crazy. So let's see what else we have here. Nothing. Let's see. Destroy an allied follower, draw 2 cards. Oh boy. That's definitely a Shadowcraft ability. Yep. Ooh. Is this a Dragoncraft? Select an enemy follower and deal 3 damage to it. If it is already damaged, if it has not been damaged, deal 1 damage as it. Okay, so that's still, I guess Dragoncraft is still going on that same vein that's been going on since, I think that's Omen of 10 where that started. The whole, if it's been damaged. If it's been damaged deal, so that'll be pretty neat. Now, one thing about this game is definitely legendaries and golds are kind of like will be your like really big deal type cards typically. However, definitely don't ignore silver and bronze cards. They can still be used in a lot of cases. Oftentimes, they make up actually a good portion of your deck still, unless you're like one of those types who's super obsessed with getting just high level cards. But it's kind of silly because a lot of these ones, their effects may seem small, but they really add up. So, and then another Nateran Great Tree one. I may have to look into making a deck like that if it's still in. Again, I'll have to just review the meta and see how it changes with this new card pack. And I think that's a really good time to get back into the game is when there is a new card pack. Because whereas you could just look at the meta and jump into it in the middle of a card pack, with the new one, you can kind of open the new meta along with everyone else and kind of get into it along with everyone else rather than kind of just jumping in there again with just a tiny bit of research or something like that. And again, even when I did do it, I didn't really research too much. I mostly just watched videos. But so let's see, put a fairy into your hand. So it's a fairy and Nateran deck. I don't know whether they call them Natura decks or Nateran. I think Natura is probably fine because that's like the trait. The tree though is like kind of like the engine, I guess, behind it. If I remember with the tree, it's like every time you put one out, it destroys the last one. So yeah, randomly destroy 1. Last word is draw a card. So when the tree is destroyed, when a tree comes into play, it destroys the previous one, and then allows you to draw a card. So that one card kind of is, it almost seems like it's kind of contradictory because it's an invoking card, but yet it runs around a deck that involves around drawing. So it's like you're almost like bound to draw out of your deck before you actually get the evocation effect. I wonder if there is like cards in that deck that reshuffle it now too. It's a doggo. Knight of the Living Dog. Whenever an allied Nateran Great Tree is destroyed, gain +2/+2. I could see that actually being pretty damn good. Like, let's say you're like on turn like 6, you have like 5 of those cards in your hand, you just keep throwing them out. Because I don't think they cost anything like once they're in your hand. So they do cost 1 play point if they don't have that effect, like reduce the cost to 0. But still, like you can, this guy's only 1 play point as well, so you can kind of just throw out a lot of them out at once and really make him pretty strong, as long as he doesn't get nuked. And it looks like they've added a lot of nukes to the game, so there's that. I seem to have got a lot of her recently. Recover 3 play points. Gain Storm. Interesting. So you could enhance her for 8 and then recover 3. So you could pretty much, it would still be the cost of 5. Of course, you'd have to have the 8 originally. You can't use an enhance effect if you don't have the points, even if you would recover them immediately. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, a new gold card? Let's see here. Bloodcraft. So Balto Malice Deflector. Deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals the number of times that your leader was damaged during your turn in this match. Deal 1 damage to your leader and 5 damage to an enemy follower. Okay, so this guy is bad news. If you have like one of those self-damage decks, you could potentially just kill them, and for 1 point. Of course, I think it's only deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals the number of times that your leader was damaged during your turn. Okay, so no, it's not limited. So let's say you hurt yourself 3 times in 1 turn. That's 3 damage added to his effect. So it's every single time. It's not just once a turn. It's every single time. So that's a pretty big effect, especially if you have like one of those masochistic Bloodcraft decks. So yeah, I don't think you want to take this guy lightly. If you're facing Bloodcraft, you might want to take them down as fast as you can. Let's see what else we have. Alright, it looks like we got quite a few different ones. Let's see, is this one a neutral card? Yeah, kind of thought so. And then give +1/+1 to another allied follower. And if there are any Natura cards in your hand, give +2/+2 instead. So again, like with most neutral cards, it's not super great, but if you can fit it into a niche perhaps, or give it somewhere where you really know you would need it, you could definitely make something, happen with it. Because again, it's like one of those 5-point cards. It's 4/4, but has a decent effect where it gives those other points to someone else. And then there's Lone's Inspector, Shadowcraft. Give your leader the following effect: at the end of your opponent's turn, summon 2 ghosts, then remove this effect. Okay, so it's a 5-point card, so that's a little bit costly for this kind of effect. However, if you're, again, it's situational. There are situations where this could prove useful. It just depends on whether you're willing to put this kind of 5-star in your deck compared to maybe something else that could be a little more useful. Because this is the thing, once you get to higher level cards, you only want to have so many in your deck, so you don't want to have too many. And there we go, a gold hollow. That's always a nice sight. Let's see exactly what it does here. Night Prowl Vampire. Seems like we're getting a lot more vampires again recently. It's pretty cool they're bringing those back in. I hope what's his name? Was Eugene? I think it was Eugene. If he hasn't been nerfed yet, then I might want to make a Bloodcraft deck. They're looking kind of fun right now. So, if it is your turn, put a random Natura card from your deck into your hand. If it is your opponent's turn, draw a card. So that's her Crystallize effect. So that's like when you put them down as an amulet. And then Fanfare, deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. If an allied Nataran Great Tree is in play, deal 2 damage to all enemy followers instead. So she's kind of like a lower cost version of Destructive Succubus. The only thing about Seductive Succubus I would say that makes her better is that with Destructive Succubus is she gets her cost lowered by evolution. So in other words, if you evolve other cards while she's in your hand, she gets reduced in cost. So she does more damage too. So she's kind of just a better version in general. But again, if you have like a turn 6 where you really just want to get some damage out there, I definitely would say that she's a decent card to put in your deck, especially if there are cards that revolve around how many Natura cards have been played or something like that. So we could definitely see her in play there. That's kind of conflicting. She just said like, I hate you, I love you. I'm like, oh, okay. So she's a little teased there, I guess. Let's see what else we get. All right, so nothing in that last pack, but now we have, if we count my rupees, we have 25 packs to go in the final one. So let's hope we can get something. We haven't pulled any leader cards yet or any kind of, I think we pulled one holo legendary, but it was one we already had. So a little bit disappointing there, but again, not a bad card. So let's just see what we can get from this one. And again, I don't know any of the cards in this, so if I do take some time to read a little bit more than even in the last pack, as you can tell, I read more in the last one than I did in the previous ones. Do please forgive me for that, as I'm learning with you guys. Some of you guys may already know more than me if you play this game, but if not, perhaps we can learn together. So let's see here. Summon a demonic Shikigami. Demonic Shikigami. Last words. Spell boost the cards in your hand. Okay, so this is a spell boost, a card for spell boost, spell boosting, and randomly put 2 different followers with spell boost from your deck into your hand. Okay, so he's definitely a expensive card to use. However, it looks like you can get a lot of cards out there as well, and you can get a lot of spell boosting done. So he's a bit expensive, and he doesn't have obviously much attack, but when you evolve him, you potentially get up to 3 other cards in the field. You have those 2 new spell boosting cards in your hand, and then you spell boost them further by those 2 Shikigami you have dying, as long as they don't get banished. Oh, and he's voiced by our boy here. How can I forget his name? Mayonnaise guy. What's his name? Why can't I remember his name? Hijikata. That's it. Hijikata from Gintama. He voices a lot of characters, actually. I think he also voices Masamune in Sengoku Basara, and also Zoro in One Piece. And also in the Firefighter one I started watching recently, he voices the captain of the 8th Squad. So he's in quite a few things. I think he's really cool. So let's see what we have here. Shizuru Sisterly Sabreur. Yeah, I don't know. Correct my pronunciation in the comments below, I guess. I don't even know how you would do that, but if you can try. Sabreur, I have no clue how you pronounce that. Sabreur. Yeah, no clue. Okay, so Fanfare. Union Burst. Okay, so Union Burst effects. Activate if your turn number is equal to or greater than the Union Burst value. Whenever an allied follower evolves during your turn, the Union Burst value of the card in your hand decreases by 1. Huh. So, if it's in your hand, and a card of the field evolves, you can reduce all of them. So that's like almost like one of those evolution effects, but instead it's for a card effect. So when this effect does go off, you deal 3 damage to the enemy leader and gain the ability to evolve for 0 points. That's a pretty good card, but it looks like it doesn't end there. At the end of your turn, if you have more evolution points than your opponent, restore 3 defense to your leader, and this follower, you have 0 evolution points on turns you are unable to evolve. Wait, you have 0 evolution points on turns you are unable to evolve. Okay, so in other words, if you've evolved that turn, meaning use an evolution point to already evolve that turn and you can't evolve anymore, you're counted as not having any evolution points. But let's say you didn't evolve that turn, then and you have more evolution points than your opponent, you restore 3 defense to your leader. So that's a pretty cool effect there. It's a pretty nice effect to have. And then she also has 5/7 when she evolves. So you can pretty much, if you play her right around turn 8 or so, you say you evolve 2 cards beforehand, you get her out there evolved. However, if you were to do that, you probably wouldn't get this effect unless you used effects to evolve those cards, or you use some other effect to recover your evolution points. Again, completely possible, but you just gotta play it right. And I don't know how the current meta is with evolution. So here's a clash one where he gains 1 defense every time he clashes, which is kind of interesting given that he has only 1 attack. So let's see what he does. Once each turn, when another allied follower is destroyed, put a copy of that follower into your hand. Ah. That's not a bad effect at all. But it's only during your turn, right? Once each turn. No, I think it's during your opponent's turn too. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. But I'm guessing he's going to be targeted pretty hard then with that kind of effect. Especially because there are certain cards where you really would like them back in your hand after they get destroyed. Especially if they have a last word effect or something like that. So there you go, some Greenwood cards. I wonder if that's like going to play into Natura at all. Or if that's like a completely new thing. Looks like it's a Forest Craft thing, though that's not too surprising there. Is this another one? This is Bloodcraft. Cougar Pelt Warrior. There you go. Her hair color changes and switches sides. A lot of them, they do that. They just like kind of like change like the color palette and switch sides. If your leader has taken damage during your turn, at least 7 times this match, summon 2 Cougar Pelt Warriors. Okay, so remember that card we looked at before that lets you do like a ton of damage from damage dealt to yourself. Looks like there's even more cards coming out with that kind of gimmick. So Bloodcraft may be heading back towards that direction. And I think this is another reason not to use that stupid Seductress Vampire card. Why would you deal 2 damage to yourself that seals you to that health when there's all these cards now that aren't just vengeance but self-damage itself? She's dead now. That debuff killed her. It killed her. But yeah, that was the most disappointing. I think they did it because they thought it was too overpowered at the time. But I would have, if I were them, I would have at least done it in a way that made her still useful instead of making her a completely useless card at that point. It seems a little silly. Of course, Elena, they just raised her points, so I think Elena is still useful. Whereas Seductress Vampire is just gone. So here's Rookie Succubus. Deal 1 damage to your leader and summon a Forest Bat. Okay, you see, bronze card, but with the new current effects that we were just looking at, pretty good, because not only do you deal damage to yourself, but you also get an extra card on the field. Now, her stats are subpar, 1-2. For a 2-star, that's not very good, but again, you get an extra card on the field, so you're actually getting, in total, 2 attack and 3 defense. Now, again, in your dealing damage to yourself, that's pretty easy to recover. I'm hoping that we're going to see some Drain cards soon, though, because if we don't have Drain, these kind of effects will really wear you down, but I'm assuming there will be some. So let's see what we have here. So that's a Portalcraft card there, and then here's the Shikigami. So I'm guessing Shikigami is going to be a pretty big thing going into the new Runecraft era, especially with Spell Boost. So I'm wondering what kind of Spell Boost cards we're going to see as we go through these cards here. So there's a neutral card. It looks like one of those... yeah. Is this the one where they make them attack each other again? And select an allied follower and an enemy follower, deal X damage. Yeah. Okay, so this is one where you make kind of your own people attack. That's kind of an interesting one. I know there's like a Portalcraft one where you make 2 enemies attack each other. So I guess that's one where you can't attack that turn, but you want to steal attack. So you can do it that way. 2 followers. It's kind of like a rush card almost in a way. Let's see here. So summon a... Well, it's actually a little better than a rush card because you can do it probably even after they've already attacked. So let's see here. Fanfare. Summon a Paper Shikigami. Whenever an allied Paper Shikigami or Demonic Shikigami comes into play, give it Ward. Subtract 0 from the cost of this card. Spell Boost, subtract 1 more. Okay, so this is a Spell Boost card. And it looks like this is one of the Shikigami engine cards. So as you can see, her stats are dismal, but it's her ability that comes into play. That's true with a lot of Runecraft cards. Of course, a lot of them had good stats and good damage before, but it looks like this one is pretty much purely for its effect. So let's see here. Giant Cobra. I'm guessing Bloodcraft. Yep. Okay, so it's a Bloodcraft. Accelerate, summon 2 Serpents. So if you can't get it out at its full might, you can still use Accelerate and get 2 Serpents on the field. Fanfare, deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. If Vengeance is active for you, restore 3 defense to your leader. So, again, this is one of those healing cards you can use. Again, it's a bronze, so there probably are better ones to use, but if you're on a budget, perhaps you could put that in your deck and find some use from it. There's a new Shadowcraft card. Now, this card, the girl in the center there, I think she's one of the new ones as well, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what she does. I'll probably look that up after this, actually, if I don't get her. Though if I do get her, that'd be pretty cool. I'm assuming she's a legendary, though. She looks like one. She kind of looks like a Kagi from Azure Lane. Let's see. Deal 1 damage to your leader. Draw a card. If an allied... oh, so I guess they're still doing the Great Tree thing. Is in play. Restore 2 defense to your leader and recover 1 play point. Huh. So again, this is really good with that new style of deck. And I can kind of see why it's a Natura card, because look, it's that same girl from before. That vampire girl, or succubus. What was she? I don't remember exactly what she was. Anyhow, her. So that will be kind of interesting there to see exactly where you can go with that. So let's see what other cards we have here. Oh, there's another Greenwood card. So I guess Greenwood's going to be its own. It's not a trait though, but I'm assuming it's kind of going to have some effects that play off each other. Like this one, if at least 3 other allied Greenwood Guardians have been played this match, gain +1/+1. Then if at least 6 other Greenwood Guardians have been played this match, gain Ward. Okay, I'm guessing there's a lot of other cards that bring her out, because Jesus Christ, 6? That's quite a few. I guess you're really spamming that card if you play that kind of deck. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Oh, Zashiki Warishi. Interesting. So let's see, Zashiki Warishi, evolve this follower, can't be attacked. Let's see, what happens if she evolves? Does she gain any kind of... Okay, so she gains all of her normal stats. And let's see here. If the enemy follower has 2 defense or less, perform Necromancy 3, banish the enemy follower before it can deal any damage in return. Okay, so you need to be careful with these cards, though, because your Necromancy, some decks you really want to keep that number high. So it's a decent effect, but it's costly. So you want to be careful about what you're doing with that. Alright, and let's move on here. So Fox Lancer, it's a furry. They're adding furries to Swordcraft again. Swordcraft seems to get a lot of those. That and Forestcraft. Let's see here. A lot of these Pelt Warriors. Huh, 2 gold cards. Okay. I don't think we've gotten any legendaries yet, though. Oh, Hollow Zashiki Warishi. Let's see what the evolution design is. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of like just the waving flames there. Colosseum on High. Invocation at the end of your turn. If you have at least 4 play points and there isn't an ally Colosseum on High in play, invoke this card. Fanfare. If another Colosseum is in play, draw 2 cards and destroy this amulet. Until this amulet leaves play, both leaders have the following effect. When you play a follower for the first time on each of your turns, give it +2/+2 and rush. See, I don't like these kind of cards too much, because it's like they give your enemy the same effect as well. So I guess if you have the kind of deck that really works with it. But again, I'm not a big fan of that. There was another card that like reduced both your cards in half as well. I didn't like playing it because it's just too risky, because you're the one who has to bear the cost originally. Now this one's not nearly as high cost as the other card I'm talking about. But still, it's... I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Especially because they get to use it first. Well, not always, but if it's invoked from your deck, they get to use it first. So, Fanfare. Spell boost the cards in your hand. Union Burst 10. Deal 7 damage to an enemy follower. Deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. So, not a bad effect. And evolve. Spell boost the cards in your hand. Deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. So, certainly not a bad card. There we go, and she's like a lolly apparently, for those of you who are into that kind of thing. Let's see here. What? I got her again. Still not a hollow though. I guess they're trying to make me go back into Runecraft, but again, I don't know if I want to go back. It's not my Mysteria cards. My Mysteria deck. At the end of your turn, if you have at least 1 play point, put a puppet into your hand. Then if you have at least 3 play points, give it +4/+0. So that's a 5 attack puppet right there. And puppets are free cards, by the way. So, yeah, okay. But that's, you pretty much have to pay 3 play points to get that, because you see how it's if you have at least 3 play points in your hand. But if you have nothing to play in your hand, that's not a bad option. And again, she only costs 2 play points, and she's a 2/2 anyway, so it's not like you're losing anything. And if you evolve her, you recover 1 play point, and at the end of your turn, again, if you have 1 play point, and it looks like this effect happens at the end of each of your turns. So you could technically keep getting puppets, if you can keep her on the field. But I'm guessing your enemies are, again, this one's gonna probably one where they target pretty hard. But yeah, if I'm doing a puppet deck, I would definitely put her in there. She definitely seems like one that's worth putting in there. Let's see what else we have here. We're nearing the end of... Oh, I got another one, so there you go. I can put some more of her in my deck, and got another traditional sorcerer. So it looks like we're probably not going to get anything too fancy from this 10 packs. But again, we still got 5 more tickets, and then we have the 10 coins. So hopefully we'll be able to get something from it in total. Let's see what we get here. Alright, let's hope it was better than that last 10 pack. Because that last 10 pack was a little disappointing there. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Alright, so nothing in the first pack. Fearsome Fortress. This looks like a very just pretty much base stats stall card. Yeah, play it on Resonance. If you want to stall your enemy, put that in your deck. It's not a bad card, but nothing game breaking. Let's see here. Oh, a hollow gold. Let's see what it is. Let's see here. Fanfare. If at least 3 allied Greenwood Guardians have been played this match, gain Storm. Strike. Change the cost of all Greenwood Guardians in your hand. Cost at least 2 play points to 1. Put a Greenwood Guardian into your hand. Okay. So I guess Greenwood Guardians really is the way it's going there. Oh. I wonder if she's like... No, I don't know. She's a matriarch. I don't know if she's supposed to be a witch. Okay, that staff kind of looks like a witch, and that would go with along with the forestcraft kind of nature, but don't know. Let's see here. Another one. All right, I have 3 now. Okay. I wonder if this is the new Erd. Let's just throw tons of them in there. But no hollows yet of her. But I did get a hollow of the Gentle Mouse. Summon a charming Gentle Mouse. Give +1/+1 to all charming Gentle Mice. Oh my goodness. Enhance 10. Summon 3. And give +3/+3 instead. Yes. 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 Let's just fill the entire field with all of these guys. Damn, I thought it was actually going to say yada yada does it. I thought it was going to turn to a JoJo character. Man, okay, so still no legendaries. But again, this 2 gold hollows. So I want to say that's not too bad. And it's the blood crush. So I guess they're going with this pelt thing. I wonder if any of them play off of each other. Do 1 damage to both leaders. If at least 2 cards were added to your hand from your deck this turn, repeat once. Restore 2 defense to your leader. So he may deal damage to you, but then you recover it. So, again, 3/3 card with 3 attack, 3 defense has a good effect. If you're doing that damage deck where you deal damage to yourself, put this guy in. There's no reason not to put this guy in. Put him in there. Put 3 of them in there. My goodness, that's a good card. Alrighty, here. Let's see what else we have here. We have these 10 last packs. I really hope we get at least 1 legendary though. I think that'd be cool. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Wow! Another one? Another hollow gold bear pelt warrior. Well, I just said put 3 of them in there. Now I have 2, and they're both hollow. That's actually kind of cool. Oh dang. You wouldn't want to fight that. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, another hollow. This time a bronze. Petalwink Paladin. Deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. Whenever an enemy follower is destroyed, gain +1/+1. She costs 6, so it's definitely costly. But that effect's not too bad. If you can make it work. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so nothing from that pack. Let's see what else we can get here. There we go. So I now have 4 of her. I think she really is the Erd of this deck, but this one's a hollow, so I forgive it. Because I don't have any hollows of her yet, so that'll be a nice addition. And I have so many of these Amazonas things now, I think they want me to make a deck of them as well. So more gold, still no legendary. I'm really surprised. This has been 20 packs so far, and still none of them yet. So this card looks like an ambush for Dragonguard. That's interesting. And again, the 2 play points for 2 attack, 2 defense. Again, these kind of cards, what I like about them is they don't hurt you. Even if you can't use their ability and you have to use them early, they can't hurt you. And she has ambush without her ability. She sees a 2/2 card with a Union Burst effect, but also an ambush effect. Not too bad at all. So I give all of them the following effect. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to your leader and deal 2 damage to this follower. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good effect. Not gonna lie. I mean, you have to do it late game, so by that point, I don't know if it's still good anymore. But again, good card. And this one, I'm tired. I don't want anymore. Stop. I'm not going to use you. I don't need a 3rd one. Please, just don't. Give me another gold card. I'd appreciate that. Just not that one. Or the one I have 3 of already. I don't need 4 of. I don't need that one anymore. I'll take another Barrel Pelt Warrior, though, if you got that. Yukari, Holy Guardian, huh? Fanfare, restore 2 defense to your leader. Until the end of your turn, until the end of your opponent's turn, give all allies the following effect. Reduce damage from spells and effects to 0. Good effect, but it takes a lot to put in there for that effect. Good card, but again, unless you have like a lot of evolution points, it might be a little late by the time you can use it. So, still no legendary though. This is kind of surprising. But what is this? How? I've gotten 3 Barrel Pelt Warriors. All of them, every single last one, has been a holo. I'm not complaining. I'm just asking how. Is this their like, hey, you didn't get any legendary, so here you go. Again, not too much complaining there. Do 1 damage to your leader, and I got 3 of these now, so I think they really want me to go for this self-damage type deck. So let's see what else we got. We still have 2 packs left. We still might be able to get a legendary. Okay, still not. Okay, we only have 1 pack left. This is actually really surprising me here. So evolve this follower with the enhance effect of 5, and then reduce damage to this follower to 0 until the end of your turn. And it gains Storm when it is evolved. And then reduce your leader has the following effect. Reduce damage from spells and effects to 0. This effect lasts until this follower leaves play. Okay. So... well... yeah... I mean, I could definitely see its usefulness, but it's just so low in abilities, it looks like it'd be taken out so easily. Yeah. Because, like, I mean, their very next turn, they could just kill it, and then that effect is kind of meaningless, so... I don't know. I mean, you could probably put it in your deck, and maybe if you have something to cover for it, that could work, but... wow, no, nothing. That was a really disappointing pack there. I mean, no legendaries at all. I was really surprised about that. So I did pull her, though, but I don't think I got her leadership one. Oh, so I guess it's only the alternate one. It's only if you get the alternate ones. Now, this is kind of surprising, because normally it's legendaries that have leader cards, but this time it's gold cards. Huh, but I guess I didn't get the alternate version, because I didn't get the leader ones. Interesting. Let's see, did I have any other packs? I don't think so, but we'll go and look through it real quick here. Okay, so yeah, no other ones. But let's go and see what my dailies are. I think I'll go ahead and at least do 1 game here. I'll try to put together a little deck, and then we'll go ahead and see here. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that one, and we'll go ahead and see where we can go. And besides, I think this season the new season just started, so we'll go ahead and see if we can't go ahead and get some points as well here. So let's go ahead and see what kind of decks we have here. This one's still in play. I guess I didn't have any old cards in it. Or maybe this is the one I just threw together recently. Because this is a Natura deck, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit difficult to make a new deck right now. Maybe I should just do Unlimited for now, and so I don't really know if I know enough to really play. Let's see here. Machina Blood, Incomplete. I think this was my Vengeance deck. Looks like that's out. Let's see, Urias. That's it. Wasn't Eugene, it was Urias. If Vengeance is active for you, gain the ability to evolve for 0. Yeah, still as badass as before. Okay, so it's only during your turn when he destroys another follower. Okay, interesting. Because she's gone. And then Calamity Bringer is also gone. But Destructive Succubus is still here. And she still has that effect. Very nice effect. Alrighty, let's see what we can do here. Alright, so let's see here. So actually, I think I want to go ahead and take a look here at... Well, let's go ahead and save it for now. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just go to cards. Cards. Now let's do Bloodcraft. And just Coliseum and Verdant to see what new cards there are. Okay. So this guy, I think if I'm going to do the damage deck, I'll need to make 3 of him. So let's see, he's from Verdant Conflict. So yeah, he's in it for a good while. Let's see, what's this one do? Restore 3 defense to your leader if an allied Nataran Great Tree is in play. Gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. Okay. So that's like around one of those type of cards. And then evolve. Give your leader the following effects. At the end of your turn, if you have at least 8 cards in your hand, randomly discard cards until you have 7 in your hand. Then deal X damage to the enemy leader. X equals 2 times the number of cards discarded. At the start of your turn, draw 1 card. So you can only have 9 cards in your hand at most. So at most I can only do 4 damage each turn. However, it lasts the rest of the match. Not a bad card at all. And let me see here. Let me see. X equals the number of times. 2 times the number of cards discarded. So I don't know if that counts all the cards discarded in your hand that turn, or just the ones from the effect. I think it's just the ones from the effect. However, if it's all the ones from your turn, you could potentially do it even more damage. But I think it's only the ones from the effect. I'm almost certain it's almost only the ones from the effect. Wait, didn't? Oh, that's right. I only have the holo version for it. Yeah, that's the funny thing about this game is if you only have the holo version, the regular version shows up as you not having them. So I have 3 Bear Pelt Warriors, but they're all holos. And that's kind of funny how it does that. So let's see what this one is. I haven't seen her yet. Fanfare. If at least 2 cards were added to your hand from your deck this turn, give this follower Storm. Huh. So, again, not amazing, but definitely not bad either. She's a 5-point card, and she can gain Storm. She only has 4 attack, but she also has Bane. So she has a lot of uses and not too many drawbacks. The only drawback I see is that her attack is slightly less. Let's see this one, Queen of the Night. So she has a Union Burst effect, so I'm guessing she's from Ultimate Coliseum. She's a legendary, so we may want to be careful about buying her. Deal 3 damage to an enemy follower, deal 3 damage to the enemy leader, restore 3 defense to your leader. At the start of your opponent's turn, if your leader took damage during your previous turn, gain +1/+1 after clashing with an enemy follower. If this follower is not destroyed, fully restore this follower's defense. So if I had drawn her from a pack, I would definitely put her in there. However, I don't really think I want to buy her right now, just because I only have 12,000 vials, and I don't know exactly where I want to go with things quite yet. So Fanfare, destroy 2 enemy followers. If Vengeance is not active for you, give your leader the following effect. At the start of your next turn, recover 2 less play points. Huh. Okay. And her accelerate effect deals damage to your leader, so I could potentially put her in my deck. She could be useful. Yeah, that's not a bad effect at all, because only 2 play points to destroy them, and you take some damage, which, again, is kind of a good thing in this deck. Draw cards until there are 5 cards in your hand. Now that could certainly be a good card if you don't have good draw power in your deck. If your leader has taken damage during your turn at least 7 times this match, gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points.
At the start of your opponent's turn, if your leader took damage during your previous turn, restore 3 defense to your leader. Oh my gosh, why are so many legendaries I like? Jeez.
Again, I don't have the resources though. I said I didn't really care about getting legendaries, but I've changed my mind because I just don't have the vials. Though I gotta say though, I do still really appreciate this bear pelt warrior. Well, actually, this video I think has gone on for a fairly long time here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and call it quits here. I didn't even realize it's been an hour. That's actually a really long time for one of my videos. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here. And I'll probably do these videos at least once a week from now on, or at least try to do something like that, or try to come up with some other type of videos to do as well. Again, if you guys have any ideas, please put them in the comment section below. If you like the video, please do give it a like. And of course, if you want to see more of my content, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Anyhow, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas break if you're on it. Enjoy your New Year's if you get that off. And just let's have a great rest of this decade, guys. We're entering a new one, and let's have a blast. Later, guys. Bye-bye.